yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Big time. Just wait. I got 20 seconds and then we can start getting into the shit. Yep. Well, if you think about it, that's probably one of the reasons why they got rid of Harbaugh. Was try to save Lamar. All right, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. What's up, everybody, and welcome to Sports Dummies, the podcast where you get to hear all about sports, mainly football, because that's what we like to talk about, and the NFL, and you get to hear it from a bunch of idiots. So you're welcome. Uh, Tonight we're gonna be talking a lot about big things that have happened today. One of those big things that have happened today is John Harbaugh got fired from the Baltimore Ravens today. Now, Mike, you had been saying and suggesting this for a few weeks. I've also been on this bandwagon too. It almost comes to fruition that what we said last week is also true. Loser leaves town in a game in Pittsburgh, and it turned out that that loser was John Harbaugh. So there's been quite a few movements in the NFL so far. I guess nobody really surprising when you come down and think about it. The only one that's surprising is Harbaugh because he's been with the organization for 18 years. Second longest tenured coach in the NFL. Gets the axe. It's going to be hard to see a Baltimore Ravens team on the field next year without Harbaugh underneath its headset. Okay, it is what it is. But just to recap a little bit, these are some of the changes that have gone on. The Titans, they actually fired their head coach in the season. Giants the same way. They're also looking for head coaches. But um, the Falcons didn't wait until Black Monday. They waited until Sunday Night Football, and then they fired Raheem Morris. Browns, Kevin Stefanski on Monday. Raiders, Pete Carroll. Cardinals, Jonathan Gannon. And the Ravens with Jim Harbaugh. I think it was about 2 hours ago, actually. Some other notable firings. The only one I've heard so far has been Matt Eberflus, the defensive coordinator for
Dallas.
Dallas. Thank you.
Yeah.
I didn't write that part down, but real quick on Eberflus, I was thinking about him today, and he had such a piss poor showing in Chicago, and then he goes to be a DC for 1 year, and he's already out as DC. I'm thinking this guy's going to go back to college and reinvent himself.
Well, he made himself the DC. But he really didn't get a fair shake in Dallas.
Right.
They dealt their best player before the season even started. His second and third best players got hurt, and he couldn't put together anything there. So I'm with you that he probably not somewhere. Probably is a position coach or a college coach somewhere. And Dallas has a lot of work to do on that defense. So
Right.
And then speaking of coordinators in that division, both coordinators in Washington are out.
Well, I knew Cliff was going to be out.
It was by choice.
They didn't call this one a firing. This one was probably a more or less a mutual parting of ways, or the fact that because the wording and the verbiage on how this went about was that they had a meeting, and then after the meeting concluded, Cliff Kingsbury and the Commanders had parted ways. So it almost sounded like he was on board with staying, and somebody else in that room was like, "We're going to try something different," or they were set on him staying, and he said to himself, I'd like to go explore my options."
Yeah, I just read as we were sitting here to go on that he's in line for 2 opportunities to get head coaching jobs.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. I mean, you
you know,
figure everybody that's gotten fired, minus Eberflus, is is on the board to get a head coaching
right.
job. Raheem Morris has already interviewed, I think, for 2 teams. Um, Obviously, Harbaugh is the number one catch this year, which I've already heard speculation he's going to the Giants.
Yeah, I've heard that too. Yeah.
You know, um, the Falcons sound like they're on their way to hiring former All Pro quarterback Matt Ryan as their president of football operations.
And some interesting news out of Atlanta today about them restructuring Kirk Cousins' deal.
I was going to get to that as well. So Atlanta modified Kirk Cousins' contract, and obviously Kirk Cousins agreed to this. Number one, it frees up cap space. Number two, he is set to be a free agent by March 13th at the latest, so they can dump him at any point right now. And um, he can, but he probably won't be back in
Right.
Atlanta. He can
Right.
re-sign with the team. There's always that possibility that he goes and re-signs with the team, but chances are he's not going to. I'm
Mm-hmm.
sure that they were well, they were obviously not real enthused about his first year there, coming off of his Achilles injury, and they put in Penix with the last 3 games or so at the end of the year, and Penix finished out the year. And then the start of this year, Penix ends up starting all but 3 games. They pulled him; he got hurt, um, and Kurt ended up finishing up. Now, Kurt, in my opinion, looks strong in those cleanup.
He did. He did actually. The end of the year, he looked really good, I thought.
Yeah, I thought so too.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
if anything, you know, if he doesn't get an opportunity, obviously go back to Atlanta if they'll have you. But if you have the opportunity and Atlanta still wants you, I would tell Atlanta, go fuck yourself.
Yep.
You know, that's what
Mm-hmm.
I would do. Um, and I think he will have opportunities elsewhere. Uh, you know, they're not sold on anything in Cleveland right now,
Right.
and they just lost their head coach, the only coach that
Right.
probably fought for Shador Sanders to be on the field, let alone drafted.
Right.
So there's an opportunity there. Not to mention that entire quarterback room is a mess. You still have Deshaun Watson on payroll. You got Dylan Gabriel, who I don't know yet. You know,
Jury's out. Jury's out.
mediocre at best.
Mm-hmm.
Shador, mediocre at best. He's basically a name that you could probably sell tickets for. That's about it.
Right.
You're gonna have um, a definite opening in Arizona because it sounds like Murray's out as well.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if they're going to rely on or want to have Jacoby Brissett as their starter next year. They're probably, I mean, they're more than likely going to get somebody in the draft anyway. But you're still going to want that transitional guy. It might be Brissett, could be Kirk Cousins.
Yeah.
It
What's
almost sounds like to
interesting
me
is,
though, real quick,
yeah.
it almost sounds like to me though, Kirk Cousins' days of being a franchise starting quarterback are over. He seems like
Mm-hmm.
a guy that's going to be a plug and play type of guy, transitional bridge guy. I don't think he's going to get the reins any more than he already has.
Yeah, I think he's going to be a pretty. I think his name will be at the top of the list for free agent quarterbacks, veterans.
For sure.
But maybe like you said, like a bridge type quarterback, a 1 year guy. I don't see him getting a multi-year deal.
No. No.
Interesting development though with Kingsbury. If he does go to a team with a rookie quarterback or a team that needs a quarterback, he's connected to Kyler Murray. So that's interesting.
Yeah,
You
but
know,
if I was him, I would want to stay I'm friends with Kyler, right? Let's pretend I'm Cliff Kingsbury and I'm friends with Kyler.
Right.
I would still like, I'd give him whatever bullshit you needed to feed him. Sorry, the organization wants to go younger. They want to do something else. Try to save face a little bit, but in the same rate, it's like, dude, I don't want you to come with me, right?
Couldn't agree more. Couldn't
You
agree
know,
more.
you didn't
Yeah.
do much together when you were together. So why in the
No.
world would I bring you to another location where what we can repeat the same performance and I get fired again?
Right. Right. Yeah. Yeah.
So I know that there's a connection. I mean, when it boils down, if you're in the NFL long enough, you're connected to everybody in some type of way.
Hmm.
You cross paths so many different times throughout the NFL. I mean, look at Aaron Rodgers and Mike Tomlin. Never were associated with each other than just being across from each other on the field. And
Right.
from what Mike has seen, from what Aaron has seen from the other sides, and looking at opposing, at their opposing sidelines, they both thought to themselves, we want to hook up, we want to try this thing. So there's 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 a lot of nepotism, but there's also a lot of, you just so happen to be in the same room at the same time, and you meet a couple
Yeah.
people, you shake some hands, and next thing you know, they're your boss. So
Hmm.
um,
Yeah.
when it comes to the NFL,
Absolutely.
it's just a small world. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because a lot of times we're like, oh man, how's this guy going to fare with this guy? And you're like, then you come to find out somebody pulls a story from 10 years ago. And it's like, oh, these two used to be roommates back in college. And you're like, I didn't even know they went to college together. You know what I mean?
Right.
And
Well,
now
just like
and what's crazy, and now with the transfer portal, my God, these guys are going to know each other from every team.
you got that right. Absolutely. I mean, that's kind of how Troy Aikman hooked up with Miami to help their GM search.
Yeah.
To me, that's no fluke.
Right.
Evidently, how the ball got rolling there, he talked to Dan Marino, who was in on the search, and said, "Why don't you help join us?" So they have someone in mind.
Yeah, I think they.
So
I think they do.
yeah.
So yeah, I mean, new locations for Kurt to circle back on this. Miami, possibly. Arizona, hell, even the Colts, maybe even Baltimore. With that situation. If Baltimore decides, well, I should say, if Lamar decides to leave Baltimore, I don't think it'll be the other way around. I think it's Lamar calling the shots there. Where would Lamar go? Maybe Miami.
Miami, maybe.
He wants to be a playboy. He wants to have that warm weather. I mean, he went to school in Louisville. I don't know where he's actually from, but maybe
Miami
Arizona.
makes sense. The Raiders would make sense.
I mean, to me, and Mark Davis and their philosophy on players, it's a no-brainer that Lamar Jackson's in the hunt to go to the Raiders. You know what I mean?
Right.
They're always looking for the fastest guy. They're always looking.
Yep, fastest guy, big arm. Yeah.
Yeah. Arizona, obviously. Who knows? Who knows? Cleveland. Not that he would. He might not want to go to Cleveland, but who knows? Maybe he wants to go play with Myles Garrett. You never know. There's always that one connection. You know what I mean? It's like, well, I'd rather not get hit by this guy, so I'm going to go play with him. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
yeah,
there's always that something. There's other guys taking interviews, two of which, Vance Joseph and Lou Anaromo, are taking interviews. Somebody had pointed out earlier today that it seems like the defensive-minded coaches are the ones running the NFL at the moment, and it looks like that's what guys are looking into. That's what teams and organizations are looking into.
I'm kind of shocked by that. But
stop running. Yeah, I don't know. It's definitely. I mean, we've had a defensive-minded coach for 19 years, and we're sick and tired of it.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, the game is cyclical anyway. What goes around comes around, and it comes around faster than when it went out. So um, it'll end up going back to offensive minded coaches once that's all
Yeah.
said and done.
Yeah.
But yeah, the big news, obviously, John Harbaugh out. I have I have, I have some numbers here that I want to run by you. Okay, and
Okay.
this goes in terms of our new NFL sack leader. Congratulations to Miles Garrett. We kind of knew that that was going to happen. Um, Last game of the year, pretty much happened the way that we thought it was going to happen, but they did it at the end of the game instead of the beginning of the game, where they pretty much just gave it to him. He laid down. Joe Burrow just laid down. Um, and Miles Garrett, 23 sacks, most in NFL history. And I know, Mike, you want to put an asterisk on this because of the 17 game mark. I have some numbers here to combat that. Now, Miles Garrett did in fact play 17 games, but what was his defensive snap count? Well, it was 865.
Okay.
His defensive snap count was 865 this past year. He got 23 sacks. Michael Strahan. Now, this was before they actually counted this as a stat. So
Right.
I had to do a little bit of digging. And back in 2001, when Michael Strahan got 22 and a half, he played 16 games. Typically, that is 60 to 65 snaps of defense per game. Typically, okay, we're going to go with an average here. Okay, and usually of those 60 to 65 snaps of defense per game, he's on 80 to 90% of those.
Okay.
So that's 960 snaps to 1,000 or 1,040 snaps. So roughly around
Right.
770 to 940. Well, he likely played around 800 to 900 defensive snaps, and he was rarely rotated out. He was a big time player. He only came off the field for short yardage and occasional rest. So we can roughly say that his benchmark, his sack count, came with about 850 snaps.
About the same.
About the same.
Right.
Until you get to TJ Watt. TJ Watt had 22 and a half sacks that tied Michael Strahan. And TJ Watt did it in 758 snaps.
Wow.
Mike.
That's like 2 games.
Mike. He did it in 15 games. He was out for 1 game.
Wow.
So, who's the real sack king?
Mm-hmm.
I just thought that was some interesting numbers when you go ahead and look at it. And, people want to sit there and say, well, he had an extra game to play and this and that. It's like, your argument to me now is futile, considering the fact that TJ Watt did it in 2 less games. And,
right.
Only one and only a half a sack off.
Right.
Which I'm sure if you look back at some of those games, you could have sit there and said, well, that should have been a half a sack. That should have been a half a sack.
Right.
You know what I mean? I remember distinctly JJ, his brother, getting pissed off because they took a half a sack from him.
Yep, I remember that too.
Yeah. So, woulda, coulda, shoulda, woulda. Here's some other numbers that I heard, and I want your opinion on this, okay? I might already know it, but I just want your opinion. So there was 2 guys. One was this year, one was last year. One of them, the narrative is saying that he was impressive in his rookie year.
Okay.
The other one, the narrative was that he is a bust in his rookie year.
Okay.
Now, a little bit different of game totals here, but the numbers kind of speak for themselves. Player number 1, who is the narrative has said it was impressive. He had 24 total touchdowns, 5 interceptions, 2,740 total yards, 2,740 total yards, and a 63.7% completion rate.
Wow.
They said that was impressive.
Okay.
That was player number 1. Player number 2 had 20 total touchdowns, 6 interceptions, 4,030 total yards, and 62.5% completion percentage. And they had said that this guy was a bust. Okay. Now, player number 1, he only played about 14 games.
Okay.
He had a record of 4-8.
Okay.
Player number 2, he had a record of 5-12.
They're the same player.
Okay. Can you guess these 2 players?
So they're rookies the last 2 years, is what you're saying.
Right.
I'd say one would be Drake. One would be Drake May, maybe.
Okay.
That'd be the first one, probably.
Okay.
I think. Young quarterbacks. Let me see.
Okay. Well, I'm going to stop you there. Okay. Because you guessed the first one is Drake May. It's actually Jackson Dart.
Okay, I was going to say Dart. Okay, I was thinking Dart. Okay.
Okay. Jackson Dart. Okay. Who was the one that they called a bust? Now they've said that Jackson Dart was impressive in his rookie year. I don't doubt that. I don't discourage. I don't disagree with that. He did look impressive, especially for a team that kind of needed it to be.
Right. He only played 14 games, so.
Right. He played 14. He only finished 12. That's why his record's 4-8.
And the second guy played all 17 games. Obviously,
the second guy played all 17 in his rookie year.
Let me see. Colts, Texans, Broncos, Raiders, Chargers, Cardinals, Rams, Seahawks, Buccaneers. I think I know this then. Caleb Williams.
That's correct. Caleb Williams was the second one.
Okay.
So they had said that Caleb Williams was a bust in his rookie year. And those were his numbers. And then they come to Jackson Dart, who played, 5 less games?
Yeah.
And said was impressive.
Interesting.
Very. Very interesting, I thought,
I mean, that's like people saying this year that some were disappointed at Cam Ward. I thought Cam Ward had a good season for really having no weapons but rookies around him.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine Cam Ward with a DK Metcalf or a Jackson Smith and Jigba, or a Puka Nacua, or a Mike Evans, a Chris Godwin, a Muka Ibuka? I mean, you give him he had nobody. Who do you have? Calvin Ridley, who got hurt in the middle of the year.
Right.
And Tyler Burks, they shipped the hell out of there.
Right, Burks. So they went with 2 rookies at the end of the year, DK and NUR, and in the tight end, he did good with no running game also.
Right.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah, their running game, they had Tony Pollard.
Yeah, Tony Pollard and Spears.
Right.
Paul Spears. So, I mean, I thought the guy, and mind you, Callahan, his coach, was fired halfway through the season.
Right.
So.
And that was the other point I was going to make about Caleb Williams, too, is that he had Matt Eberflus as his coach.
Right.
But, I thought the narrative on that was very unwarranted, considering the fact that, for all intents and purposes, by the numbers, Caleb Williams did a pretty bang-up job. Now, this again just goes into the fact that you can't expect to have that much success with a rookie quarterback.
No.
The only outlier really is CJ Stroud.
Right.
And I wouldn't even say that he had an outstanding rookie quarterback type of year. He just had a decent team around him.
Right, and he won games in the playoffs too.
Yeah.
You know, that's what made him that asterisk a little bit better.
And
Um,
everybody knows that you take it easy on the rookie as far as the playbook goes.
absolutely,
So,
absolutely. Yeah,
where some of these guys are having to do 2 and 3 reads, he might only have one read, and that's
right,
throw it to this guy. If not, run, take off.
right.
Make something happen, make a play, be athletic.
I want to say, getting back to that narrative about Williams having a bad year, probably because they surrounded him with DJ Moore. They had
Who's still there?
three wide receivers.
Who's still
Right.
there?
Who's still there? DJ Moore. They had who else did they have there last year? They
They
signed three.
Keenan Allen was the other one.
Keenan Allen, DJ Moore,
Yeah.
and this and and what's his name, who's still there this year? Their new number one, who got hurt half the year.
And Dunze.
Dunze. Yeah. So I just think being the number one overall put a lot more added pressure on him. Look at the jump he got this year with a different head coach. And the Bears they're going to be a tough out for anyone in the NFC.
And that's the thing. And that's the thing, too. It's like, you want to sit here and maybe bang the guy up, maybe, just maybe, the head coach has a big to do about what these rookie quarterbacks do.
Absolutely.
And, and sadly, obviously these rookies are getting the brunt end of it, and they're the ones that are taking the hits. So, comparatively, C.J. Stroud's rookie year was phenomenal. He had over 4,200 yards, total yards. He had 63.9% completion rate. He had 26 total touchdowns and 5 interceptions.
Wow. That's a hell of a year. Damn.
It is. It is. I mean, he had just over 200 more yards than Caleb Williams. He had a whole completion percentage and a half, almost better than Caleb Williams. He had more touchdowns than Caleb, and he had one less interception than Caleb. But realistically, in terms of the NFL and everything, and how many times they throw the ball versus when they don't, and the rushing yards and touchdowns and all that, Caleb Williams' rookie year wasn't different from Stroud's rookie year in terms of numbers go. They're pretty spot on. They're close.
Right.
They're super close. But CJ got more notoriety because the team won around him.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
And
again, did the rookie win a couple games? I'm sure he did. If you go back and watch 2003 all over, or 2023 all over again, I'm sure there's a few games in there that he won. But I'm sure that there's also a few games in there where he didn't have to win. His team around him did. The running game, the defense, all that other stuff. But the narrative.
How about the weird stat? I didn't realize the Bears were the only organization without a 4,000-yard passer.
Until
they
this
finally
year.
got it. Yeah.
Until this year.
That's nuts.
Yeah, I thought you knew that.
No.
Yeah, they've been talking about that for God knows how long. Last 2 years for sure. How that finally came about and everything like that. But boy, man, some of these spreads, woof. At least you haven't looked at them. Here's one. Here's one. The Panthers for Saturday game 1 of NFL Wildcard Super Wildcard Weekend.
Okay.
The Panthers are 10.5 point home dogs.
We got the Rams.
Yep.
Oh God. That's a lot of points at home, man. I mean,
10.5 point home dogs.
Wow. Wow, that's a big number. Jeez.
Yeah.
I mean, wow.
Every game except for 2 Every game except for 2. So there's 6 games. So 4 of the 6 games, the home team is the Dogs.
Wow. So the Bears are favorites, obviously.
The Bears are not favorites.
They're not favored against Green Bay?
Green Bay 1.5.
Well, that's insane. I'm sorry.
Yep. Green Bay is giving 1.5.
Wow. I'm
Yep.
stunned by that one. I'm stunned by that one.
Yep. Buffalo giving 1.5.
Buffalo's in
Jacksonville.
Jacksonville. I could see that.
I can't do it.
Just because of who they are, just because of who they are, What's
speaking of which, that's another team that you need to look out for this playoffs, because I think McDermott, this is it. If he doesn't do anything, he's out.
Couldn't agree more. Could not agree more.
If he doesn't do anything here, he's out.
Right. Especially with the big two, his 2 nemesis, Baltimore and Kansas City, are out.
Right.
So,
right.
Yeah,
there's no Kansas City. There
is
no
no Baltimore, no KC.
Like you said, yeah.
Wow.
Uh-huh.
Wow. The one thing I was looking at,
mm-hmm.
You look at these matchups early. That Charger Patriot game could be a classic. I mean, a hell of a game.
Yeah.
That making a close game and a field goal game. I don't know. I just feel the Bears, the way they're playing right now, and the way the Packers are playing, I think it's gonna be a close game. But I like the Bears in Chicago.
I do too. I do too. Chicago's gonna be. They're gonna be amped, man. They're You know what I mean? They're not gonna. That's a 4:30 game, or that's an 8 p.m. game. Oh,
right.
They're gonna be so tuned up, dude.
Yeah.
All day to get ready for a playoff game that they haven't seen at home in how long?
In forever. Right.
Close to 10 years, if not longer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
tell you what, that Buffalo Jacksonville game would be something.
Right. You figure though, the Bears game, they haven't seen this since Jay Cutler.
I know, which is insane.
Right?
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's even crazier to think that Jay Cutler wasn't a 4,000-yard passer either.
I know. I was just going to say that. When I think of Jay Cutler, I think of passing. I mean,
yeah. So out of the games that we see that's coming up this weekend, I'll be honest, the one game that I'm probably looking forward to the most is probably the Niners and the Eagles.
I don't know what to think of that one. Which team are we going to get in Philly? Which team?
Well, that's the thing. I don't think here's my opinion. My opinion is Niners go over, right?
Yes.
Because I don't think the Eagles, whichever team shows up, is going to be enough to beat the Niners.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you, man. It's going to be, unless, right now, Brock Purdy's playing some of his best football of his career.
Agreed.
He is playing phenomenal. Christian McCaffrey's playing phenomenal. The Niners defense, who was suspect earlier in the year, has played. They're not playing good, but they're opportunistic, making plays at the right times in games.
Yeah.
And Philly, we don't know what we're going to get. It kind of worries me if I'm an Eagle fan. Which team is showing up?
Yep.
I mean, they kind of needed the win last week, and they laid an egg. Even though they didn't play Jalen Hurts, obviously, not their stars, but usually Philly deep, and they just have not hit on all cylinders at all year, in my opinion. And that Niner team, man, they're a game away from being number 1 seed, which is insane.
Right. And that wasn't even in their control at that point.
Right.
Once Seattle won, it was out of anybody's control.
Right.
Because that's all Seattle needed to do was win.
Right.
And they did their job. So
I think the game, I tell you what, there's such great matchup this weekend.
I'll be honest. I'm really happy with the way that this playoff has shaked out. Considering the fact that I mean, there's been a few years where we've looked at, probably some of these playoffs and we thought to ourselves, this is why even play? We already know who's going to win. Because
Mm-hmm.
the team was just that good. You know
Right,
what I mean?
right.
But the only game that you could probably easily sit here and say, oh, I don't. That one shouldn't even be played is probably the Rams and Panthers, even though the Panthers had already beaten the Rams in the regular season.
Right. And in Carolina at home.
Right.
So, I mean, you know what? Carolina has surprised me all year.
Mm-hmm.
It wouldn't surprise me if this game was close and it comes down to the last quarter, you know?
I mean, I get that, but think about it from the Panthers standpoint, the fan standpoint. We just made the playoffs. That's all we
Right.
wanted to do. That's all we wanted to do was make the playoffs.
Yeah.
Anything
Yep.
from here is a bonus.
Yep, it's gravy. Yep.
Yep. Everything from here is a bonus. If we win, super psyched.
Mm-hmm.
But if we lose, we made the playoffs. We won the division.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of division, do you know that there's not been a three-peat in the AFC North in over 10 years?
No, I didn't know. Yeah, Cincinnati won. The Ravens won twice. Us, yeah, right.
There hasn't been a
Wow,
three-peater in our division in 10 years.
that's crazy.
I thought that was remarkable.
Yeah,
Nobody
yeah,
has really, even though you can easily sit back and say, well, this team owns that division, but they really haven't, considering the fact that nobody's won this division more than 3 times.
yeah. And you think of the teams. Well, it's been a three-headed monster, obviously, but the Steelers, Ravens, and Bengals.
Mostly the Steelers and Baltimore.
Right, right. But the one year Cincinnati goes nuts and had a great year.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. 3 years in a row.
Nobody has won it more than twice
Wow,
in a row.
wow.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, really looking forward to this weekend's games. The Buffalo Jacksonville game, I look at, I don't know what to think. The Chargers and Patriots, it could go either way. I mean,
I don't think I'm giving the edge to New England, and I'm obviously giving the edge to New England because of the fact that I think I've lost faith completely in Justin Herbert. I really do.
that's my argument all the time with Matt.
Yeah.
About him saying he's a top 5 QB. Prove it, because he hasn't proved it.
What's funny is that they pulled out the take it with a grain of salt, if you believe in this type of stuff, but the power rankings, QB power rankings, came out at the end of the year, and
okay.
I had to look at them because I had to see where they put Justin Herbert.
Okay.
And I had to see where they put Sam Darnold.
Okay. Wow.
So
where would I put him?
Yeah. So we could probably, if I can remember correctly, I think Stafford was number 1 in terms of power rankings to end the year. Yeah, I'm almost positive. Okay. But Justin Herbert was ranked. Do you want to guess it, or you want me to just tell you?
Tell me.
Well, I want you to guess it. I want you to guess it because you
always
he always says that he's top 5. You say he's not even close. So
right. So I'd give him like number 8.
Okay, you went a little high on him. He was number 12.
That's okay. That's about right. 8, 12. Okay.
We've always said, me and you, we've always said he's in the better half of the league. Right.
I always said he was very close to being top 10, but on the edge. So I gave him 8 just because right now with injuries and how the teams are, I give him 8, but 12's about right for me.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah. Do you know what Sam Darnold was?
Oh, he's got to be up there. He's got to be probably number 6. Maybe higher, maybe 4. I'll go 4.
13.
What?
Yeah.
That baffles me.
I know.
Wow.
And again, you take this with a grain of salt, right? If you're into power rankings and how they do it and everything like that, you take it with a grain of salt. But they had Sam Darnold at 13, and they had obviously Justin Herbert at 12.
Wow.
Which I was kind of like, what?
Well, he made
mean-
a comment last show. Matt did. I gave him shit off camera. When he said Brees Hall was a top 5 talent at running back. Dude, what are you watching? A top 5 talent at running back? No, I'm sorry. Your top 5s are getting out of hand. I'll give you top
Yeah.
15 talent. Top 5? I mean, granted, we haven't gotten to see what he could do because he's running behind a very bad offensive line in New York. But top 5 talent? I don't know.
Just in 3 games, I've already picked 4 running backs that are higher than him.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you know, I mean, I can name 5 off the top of my head. McCaffrey, Bijan, Henry. Like, you know what I mean?
Again, I said 4 of them right now. The Bills, James Cook. 49ers.
There you go. A-Chain. A-Chain, like, come on.
49ers, CMC. Eagles, Saquon Barkley. The
That's
Patriots,
what I'm saying. Like,
Henderson.
Gibbs for the Lions. Like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Like,
I would say Brees Hall is probably in or around. I would say in or around the top 10. And I said in or around, meaning he'd probably be like top 10, top 13.
Right.
You know, he'd be just outside of that. I think he'd be a little bit inward of that 15 mark. But certainly, yeah, I would probably put him in between 15 and 10. 10 to 15, 15 and 10, however you want to look at the scale.
I mean, Josh Jacobs, like, is he better than Josh Jacobs? No. You know?
No.
Aaron Jones.
I mean, when healthy, no. But obviously, production-wise this year, been a little bit different.
I mean,
I would even put him above Aaron Jones.
That's what I was going to say. Like, and comparably speaking, I'm not saying the same talent level. He reminds me of Jaylen Warren. Just you know, he's a better all-around back, I think, but we've never seen it because of where he is in New York.
Right.
He's always been. He kind of reminds me of the Pirates. He's all about potential. We don't know what his potential is. You know what I mean? Like, you don't know. So don't give me the top 5 thing. You know.
Yeah, he almost reminds me of a Le'Veon Bell, but the Le'Veon Bell that wanted more money because he was a receiver too.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, you know, and Brees Hall played more receiver than he did running back this year because they were constantly behind.
Right. I mean,
so you want to talk about him being in the top 15 wide receivers?
I mean, you know, we're not even thinking about guys like Kenneth Walker and Charbonnet and you know what I mean?
No, guys that,
I mean, there's good backs all around the league. Bucky Irving, you know what I mean? There's good backs everywhere.
Right.
Carolina has 2 good backs.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, Rico Dowd and Cuba Hubbard.
Right. So I mean, to me, we've named our top 5, top 7, top 8, and he's not in that realm. You know? I think he would be someone like a Kyron Williams type player, you know? Maybe more athletic, but that type of guy.
I mean, even Kyron Williams is better than him.
That's what I'm saying. So when you say top 5 men, you have to really blow me away to say top 5, especially a running back, man. Whew.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know where he gets his stuff. I mean,
by the way, we didn't say Jonathan Taylor either. By the way, probably the best running back in the league besides
Jonathan
CMC.
Taylor, obviously. He should be.
Yeah.
He should be without saying though. But Jonathan Taylor.
Right.
Derrick Henry, like you said.
Right. Derrick Henry, Robinson, CMC, Saquon Barkley. I mean the list goes on.
Hell, even Chase Brown. I would even argue him with Chase Brown.
Oh,
you know?
I would take Chase Brown 10 out of 10 times. A-Chain, I'd take him 10 out of 10 times.
Right.
I mean, you know, to me,
it all goes down to the fact that, you know, it's hard to put any type of ranking on a guy that we can't see to his whole potential because the offense is pretty much one-sided. It's one-dimensional.
Right. Yes, and when they've had a quarterback and a wide receiver, one was always hurt.
Right.
Or the offensive line was really bad.
Right.
You know? That's like people saying Garrett Wilson was a top 5 talent. He may be a wide receiver, But we'll never know because he's hurt a lot and the quarterback's been hurt.
Right.
So, you know?
Yeah, I agree. For example, I mean, you could probably say that Brees Hall should be better than what you think he is because of the fact that his team, though absolutely despicable, he still rushed for 1,000 yards this year.
Right. Right.
But he only had 4 touchdowns, 4 rushing
Wow.
touchdowns, I should say.
Right.
And
Right.
he only had. This is surprising. Oh wait, hold on. Okay, still a little bit surprising on the low end for me, considering what their year was. But he only had 350 yards receiving.
Really?
Right.
That seems awfully low because to me he was getting a lot of targets. Wow.
And that's what I'm saying.
Wow.
Now he had 48 targets, but he had 36 catches on 48 targets and 350 yards. In 2003 or 2023, his sophomore season, he had the most at 591 receiving yards. But and he had just missed 1,000 yards that season too. He was 6 yards shy of that. But he had 5 touchdowns and he had 4 touchdowns through the air. So he had 9 total touchdowns that year. Arguably his best year.
Wow.
Arguably his best year. And statistically wise, it was. He had over 1,500 yards that year, and this year he had just over 1,400 yards. So statistically, 2023 was his best year.
Right. Well, let's hit some of the games that we had to talk about from this past weekend.
We pretty much we pretty much covered all the ones that we needed to cover because those are the ones that are actually in the playoffs right now.
Right.
But going back to this weekend, the 2 games that the 2 games that we really wanted to talk about or should talk about, or not 2 games but 3 games, were the Panthers and Bucks, which that was a slop fest down in Tampa.
You called that from the beginning. You said you texted me saying rain slop fest. Yeah.
Yeah. So that turned out to be a slop fest. And Panthers lost that game, but still got in the playoffs because Atlanta beat the Saints.
Right.
So that was one of the games that we were watching. And Saturday, we got our final, and we knew that Sunday at 1 we had to pay attention to one of those games to find out what was the outcome, and whatever that outcome was, and that was the end of it. If I'm not mistaken, though, I think the Saints led this game mostly, and then at the end, the Falcons pulled away and won it. But nonetheless, the Falcons still win against the Saints, and the Saints ended at 6-11 for the year. Not bad, considering the fact that they were terrible at the beginning of the year.
Yeah, better than I expected.
Right. The Seattle Seahawks and the Niners, 13-3. A little bit surprising to me on the Niners only being able to put up 3.
Right.
Purdy got banged up at the end of that play, but nothing to the point where he's going to miss anything.
Right.
So it's kind of one of those things where
Seattle's defense, man, underrated.
It is. And again, Mike McDonald is an absolute animal when it comes to his defense.
Yes.
He needs respect needs to be put on that man's name big time.
Right.
But I don't know. It almost seemed like the Niners were kind of like, hey, if we win this game, great. But if we don't, we're not going to push it because we really don't care.
It's funny you say that because I feel like the Chargers resting everyone.
Right.
Like they were willing to go to New England.
Yeah.
It's like they were willing to go there for that matchup. I mean, the Eagles.
Again, if that team would have won, if the Chargers would have won, would it have changed anything? Would their seeding have changed? If they won,
the Chargers would have won, and they could have moved up once. They could have moved up to the 5 seed, I think. because they lost. Houston took over. Houston jumped them to play the Steelers. So
Okay.
so it's kind of weird. I thought it was, plus they helped Denver by not playing their starters. You know,
Right.
Denver had to win number 1 seed, so it was kind of awkward.
Right.
Um,
Yeah. So a little bit interesting. The Giants, again, I called this one, the Giants pulverized Dallas. I just felt like this was a game where Dallas was just going to let their fans down even worse than what
well,
they already
Dallas
did.
pulled their starters at halftime, and they looked bad though with their starters in, so it was not a
Yeah.
big.
So I kind of knew it was going to happen. It just seems like that's the Dallas Cowboy way, is to get your
Yeah.
fans' hopes up and then just crush them and then just demoralize them at the end of the year.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's about right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Browns beating the Bengals. I mean, this was a throwaway game anyway, and nobody really gave a shit.
Right.
The only reason why this game even made news was because Myles Garrett ended up getting his 23rd sack of the year.
Right.
Which do you think 10 years from now Michael Strahan goes up to Joe Burrow and say, "You stole my sack. You stole my..."
No.
No.
Like a guess, I don't know. I
Yeah.
don't think that. I mean,
well, and here's the thing.
And
here's
he
the thing too.
might have another record.
Yeah, you're right.
But
here's the thing too, and obviously people, if you've heard of this story, it's comical and sad all at the same point. But the reason why Gustafson, or whatever his name is,
Mark Gastineau. Yeah.
Gastineau. The reason why Gastineau was so pissed is because he took his livelihood.
Yes.
Gastineau made his livelihood on signing autographs, being the sack king.
Listen, he played for the defense that was called the New York Sack Exchange.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
I mean, him and Joe Klecko. I mean, wow.
So
yeah.
Again, when you hear the whole story, it's sad. And but if you watch the altercation, it's hysterical.
Because it's hilarious.
It is. It's sad. Listen, it's hilarious. But when Brett Favre turned around and said, "You're not going to hit me, are you?"
Yeah.
I just can't help but laugh.
The funny thing is, Joe Burrow giving the sack to Garrett is like Favre giving it to Strahan. It was the same thing.
Kind of.
It's a copycat. It's kind of funny.
Pretty much. Yeah. I wonder if that was Joe Burrow's way of saying, "Hey, I'm not going to see you again because I'm getting the hell out of the AFC."
Right.
Who knows?
No kidding.
Yeah, who knows?
No kidding.
But yeah, so, and I thought about that because I'm thinking about Myles Garrett, and I'm thinking to myself, he's going to be in Cleveland for the rest of his life.
Right.
He's going to play out the rest of his contract more than likely in Cleveland, unless now that he's got this sack record, maybe he says, "I've done everything I could here in Cleveland except win a playoff, win a Super Bowl, because we've already won a playoff game. We've already won a playoff game. The next thing you guys can try to do is win a divisional game, or win a division title."
Right.
But you can't do that with the players that you have in that locker room right now.
Right.
So, at what point does Myles Garrett say, "I got to go chase something. I got to go chase a ring"?
Right.
Because I'm not going to get one here. Joe Thomas legitimately thought to himself every year the Browns were going to win.
Right.
And he was he was let down miserably every single year.
It's funny you're talking about the Browns. So if Stefanski gets fired,
right,
and he's a hot commodity on the market.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like, you coach for the piss poor organization who didn't give you tools.
Yeah.
So now go and find, I mean, right now to me, the most, like, what would your out of the jobs that are out there, what job to me for you is the most, I want that job? Is it Baltimore? Is it the Giants?
To me?
Is it Tennessee? Yeah.
Right now, to me, it's the Giants. The Giants
That's
have
what I think
everything.
too.
The Giants
Right.
have
Malik
everything.
Neighbors, Jackson
Mm-hmm.
Dart. Yes, I agree. Young quarterback,
Gadaboo.
young wide receiver.
Yep.
Yeah.
Gadaboo.
Yeah.
I mean, if
I'm worried. I'm not so heavy to jump on him yet just because I want to see what he looks like when he comes back from his injury. But if he's healthy, those three alone, I want to coach that team.
of course,
You
of
know?
course, and not to
Yeah.
mention, if you're not sold on Scadaboo, there's probably going to be 15 guys in free agency that you're going to be able to snatch up.
Oh, I'm just saying, if I don't know what he's looked like when coming back from that injury. It was a rough injury. I mean, I'm
I
sold on
mean,
him
I
as a
get
ball
it.
player. Yeah. I
Yeah, I
think he's
mean,
a
I get
stud. I
it.
think he's a stud. I hope he comes back 100%, because he's a beast. But those two, I mean, the Giants job, wow, that's a great job. That is a great job.
Yeah, the only thing that you have to worry about is the New York market. That's it.
Yes, exactly,
You know,
exactly.
and if
Yeah,
you're anything like if you take a page out of Bill Belichick's book, you'll be just fine in the New York market.
yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
Right,
you go to the microphone, you're soft spoken, and you don't give a shit about anybody's questions. You just give the answer you want to give.
right.
You know,
Well, the two that were successful, him and Bill, what the Giants coach, Bill,
Who, Bill Walsh,
no, no, not Walsh.
Belichick,
No, not Bill. What the hell was his
Parcells.
name? Parcells. Thank you, Bill
Okay,
Parcells. Yeah,
I was
yeah,
just going through all the bills until I got it right.
yeah. Parcells. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I mean, guys that didn't give a shit. This is how we're gonna play, and that's it.
yeah, yeah.
Let's keep the media outside our room,
Yep,
keep everything else inside, and we'll do it our way. So,
yep.
you know,
Absolutely, absolutely.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
So,
so obviously we know what teams are in the playoffs, but teams that are out of the playoffs, who do you think has the most potential for next year?
good question. Um, Let me see. Potential for next year.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, a team I look at right away, just because the talent level they have, is Detroit. Like they fired Moore, their offensive coordinator, today after 1 year. They have a ton of talent. You know, but younger teams who I look at, um, the NFC East, I don't see much going there. AFC North, I'm not sure about them. Um, wow, great question. Um, the Falcons have so much talent on that team. They need
Right.
a quarterback. They need a leader. They went from being one of the worst teams in the league sack wise, and they're in the top 5 sack rate now. To me, if they get the right coach, the right leader, the right kind of like mentality, they could be a playoff team next year. We thought it was going to be this year. Let's be
Right.
honest.
Yeah, we did.
So but the one team that I'm excited to see what happens in the next few years is New Orleans. I
Yeah.
want to see what happens if they add around Tyler Shupp. You
Well,
know,
and that's the thing too. They're more than likely they're gonna lose Olave. They're gonna lose um
you think they're going to lose
Kamara.
Olave? I think they're going to re-sign him.
Olave's on the trade block. It seems like every single year. He's in trade talks every single year.
Wow,
I mean, just this past year, they were talking about him coming to the Steelers for Christ's sakes.
they were.
You know, so I think Olave's. He might start the season with the Saints, but I don't think he ends the season with the Saints next year.
I don't know, man. He's a young talent. We'll see. Um,
But him and Drake London, they're almost like the same player. Are they healthy all the time?
yeah, you're right. You're exactly right. Right. Yeah.
Yeah, the
Um,
Falcons will be interesting if they can add a couple pieces. They could be really something. Um,
yeah, because another guy you want to talk about, a guy who really his stock went up towards the end of the year, was Kyle Pitts.
mhm.
What a second half of the season.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah.
Um,
If I were him, if I was Kyle Pitts, I'd be looking to get the hell out of Dodge since my stock is up so high.
right. Right.
But he might be one of those lifer guys. Like, hey, this is the team
Right.
that gave me everything. I'll do what I can for the team and this and that. Um,
Right.
but if he goes to a team like the Packers, okay, if he goes to a team like the Giants, the Cowboys, I'm just trying to think, the Jaguars, the Colts,
Right.
even though they don't need
Yeah.
one. Maybe even the Texans,
Right.
Lions. Laporta was out all year. Um, trying to think of teams that utilize their tight ends. Hell, what if Kelsey retires and Pitts goes to
Oh,
Kansas City,
wow. Woo.
right?
Yeah, they're gonna be making some moves too.
Yeah, I mean the
I
Raiders got
personally,
theirs.
yeah, I personally think we've seen Kelsey's last game personally. Um, so interesting.
So yeah,
Interesting.
um, I don't know. Who's the most exciting team for next year? I don't even know if I have that answer, to be honest with you.
I just said I don't have like teams I'm like wow, but
Yeah, because
there's
there's so many teams I'm looking at right now that like I'm thinking like, boy, they're going to be in like rebuild mode. Like the
right,
Buccaneers. Mike Evans probably played his last game as a
right,
Tampa Bay Buccaneer, as an NFL player.
right,
What do they
right,
look like next year?
right.
Like you said, Falcons. They need a couple pieces to really be something. The Giants. What do they look like next year? Probably the most hope is the Giants are looking
Yeah.
probably the best. The
Yep.
Titans
Yep.
need wide receiver help. The
Yep.
Colts need a quarterback.
Yeah.
And the Jets are a full rebuild right now.
Yeah. Dude, speaking of the Jets, the stat that just jumps out on you and just sits on you and like
No
since
interceptions. Only team in the league.
1933. Are you kidding
No
me?
interceptions. Not
That's
one.
hard to believe. That's hard to believe.
No tip, no deflection,
Right.
no oopsie, I found a ball, whose is it?
Right. And their
Nothing.
head coach being Aaron Glenn, who was a corner,
Yeah.
it's like it baffles me. So,
Yeah.
talk about a team that needs everything.
Yeah.
You
The
know?
Raiders are another team that needs everything.
Yeah.
Cardinals, they need everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dolphins, they need everything.
Yeah. Well, evidently, Tua's played his last game as a Dolphin.
That's another one. Where does he go?
Right.
Where does he end up?
There's a group of veteran quarterbacks out there in Kyler Murray, Tua, Kirk Cousins.
Yeah.
Marcus Mariota may be a backup, maybe out there again.
The veteran market for quarterbacks this year is going to be interesting to see where some of these guys end up panning out, especially guys that were starters that are now going to probably end up being backups somewhere. If not, then they're going to go and starting for another team.
Like, of course, us being the AFC North, I'm interested to see what happens to all these teams in the off season.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of movement could happen with these teams.
Well, a lot of movements already happen with these teams. We got Stefanski,
right?
And
we got
Harbaugh,
new coaches.
Yeah,
and I'm still. To me, this is the only reason Cincinnati kept Taylor is because of Burrow. That's it.
More than likely.
Yeah.
What's not even to say that these teams that are in the playoffs right now, there's going to be movement with these teams too.
Absolutely.
We saw with the Eagles last year. The Eagles made it all the way through the Super Bowl, and Kellen Moore, after winning the Super Bowl, announces he's leaving and going to be the head coach for the New Orleans Saints. So we're gonna have another situation like that more than likely.
Well, you brought up a team last week, LaFleur in Green Bay.
Right.
What happens there? What happens if they go and lay an egg against the Bears?
Right.
Yep.
LaFleur. I mean, it's not, to me. It sounds like LaFleur's job is on the line.
Yeah, it's almost like he needs to win this game Saturday night.
And then you get into guys like Sean McVay, right?
Is he coming back?
Is he coming back? Is he going into broadcasting like he was supposed
Matthew
to
Stafford
last year?
Coming back?
Right. Is this Stafford's last year?
Right.
Even though that we haven't heard of any inkling of him saying that he's going to hang it up after this year.
Right.
We also know that he had back issues at the beginning of this year and was questionable to even play.
Yes.
Um,
Right.
and then the other one is Mike Tomlin.
Yeah.
There's
Yep.
speculation that Mike Tomlin steps away after this year, that he wants to take a year off, and then next year explore his options, or after next year. Um, I've even heard some say that Aaron Rodgers might not even retire after the end of this year, even though I believe he's going to.
Well, if I'm the Steelers and I'm drafting at 22, 23, 24, and Rodgers wants to come back next year, I bring him back for another year.
Oh,
Honestly,
absolutely, 100%. Considering that
listen,
what he's been able to do for us.
listen, I was on the boat coming into the season. Okay, you sign him, fine. I don't know what we're going to get from him. He's been everything you heard about. Oh, he's going to be a distraction in the locker room. He's this, he's that. He's been the perfect team player. He's been the perfect guy for Will Howard to learn from.
Yep.
And listen, he still got it.
Yep.
You see some of those throws he made Sunday night? Wow, man.
I mean, they're pinpoint accuracy.
That those two passes to Freiermuth in the middle, and then to what's his name, 16
Thielen.
Oh my God, man! Like, I mean, there was no room for it had to be a perfect throw. Both those throws were. He threw them before the guys were even open.
Yeah.
Just amazing throws. I mean,
pinpoint accuracy. I mean, that one that he ended up lofting over the defender to Freiermuth.
Oh.
I mean, like it was just barely over the guy's helmet and into Freiermuth's hands. And it's just like, your touch on the ball is ridiculous, bro.
Right.
And granted, it should be, for considering the fact that you've been in the league for 19 years. You've been throwing the ball for that long. Like, it should be. Your touch and finesse should be like that.
And you see plays where like they missed, where Jonnu Smith didn't turn it up. He cut over. He turns it up. That's the easy. Could be walking in the end zone that play.
Yeah, Rodgers told him about it too.
Yeah, which you knew exactly what he was talking about. So it's like he's a coach on the field, which I loved about him this year.
Yep.
And to me, that's why we still have a puncher's chance against Houston.
Well, again, Mike, any given Sunday, right? We always say it. Any time that you line up on the field and they blow the whistle and they say play, you got a 50-50 shot to win.
Yeah.
And it's not until the end of the game where you find out whether that 50-50 shot turns into 100% or 0%.
Speaking of that, let's talk about our game Sunday night.
And that's a good transition. Let's finish talking about our game, and we got 2 picks to make tonight.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll get to the 2 picks later, which are college picks, by the way. If you didn't know that, we have 2 semifinal games, and it's the only picks left. 2 games. That's it. That's it. 2 games for the semifinals in the CFP National Championship. But yeah, let's talk about the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Baltimore Ravens Monday night in Pittsburgh, where the Steelers didn't decide, but the Steelers ended up pulling out a victory on a last-second missed field goal by Tyler Loop to win the game 26-24 and to send the Steelers into the playoffs against the Houston Texans, which is going to be played Monday night at 8 o'clock, and Houston is coming to town for that. But let's talk about this game. There was an interesting sequence that happened in the end of the first half that I thought to myself, this is the game right here. This right here is going to determine whether we win or lose. And when we went into halftime 10-3, I thought, that's it. We're done. We're cooked. We're smoked. We're done. It's over with. We had the perfect opportunity to at least put points on the board. Do I want a touchdown at the end of that half? Oh, my God, do I want a touchdown to make it 10-10 going into halftime? And then knowing we get the ball back at half.
So let me ask you something. Two plays stand in my mind from the first half. Both of them didn't work. Number one was the tush push from like 2 yards out, which
Right.
made no sense to me. Punt the ball at that point. It made no sense. They're already up 7-0 at that point. Why give them more momentum to be on your side of the 50? Made no sense. If it was a half yard, sure, but that diamond distance was a yard and a half. It was crazy.
Right.
Um, and then we get the pass interference call at the end of the half. There's 2 seconds left.
Mhm.
You're at the 1. My thought immediately was kick a field goal, make it
Yeah.
10-6. But then,
Yeah.
that was my thought. Then I'm like, man, you're here to win this. Just a bad play call, in my opinion. I mean,
The
I'm
worst
not a
play
coach,
call,
but
the worst play call imaginable, Mike. We talked about this when it happened. And what frame of mind do you have to be to think that tossing it short side with no blockers and two
two defenders,
in open field was
right,
going to turn out good? Did you guys think
right,
that you fooled them? Did you think that that was the perfect play? They're never going to expect this. You
right.
knew that they were going to stay home on the goal
Yes,
line. They weren't
yes,
going to crash in. I mean,
right.
for crying out loud, they pitched them the ball, and the two guys were already out in the flat.
Oh yeah, they're waiting for him. They're waiting for him.
So it's not like
Yeah,
they ran in and they were like, "Oh shit, we need to recover."
right.
No, they
So
were already out
I
there
don't.
playing zone.
Yeah, I don't fault the call for them going for it. I understand, but I'm sitting here as a fan going, hell, I'll be happy 10-6 going in and getting the ball back. But
Right.
I just fault them for the play call itself. Like that's the best thing you can come up with.
Well,
Wow.
here's the reason why I was pissed. Right, for not not kicking the field goal. Again, I'm with you. Win damn game. So
Right.
if that means you need to go for it on 4th and 2, and you try a tush push and it don't work, I'm okay with it because
Right.
you went out there. But there's 2 seconds left, and the play call that you had was absolutely embarrassing to even put on the field. Kick the points, go into halftime at 10-6, because we
Right.
know that after halftime they go and score a touchdown. That would have made it
Right.
13-10.
Right.
Now we got Baltimore on their heels, and we can play some shutdown defense, which
Yeah.
they didn't do at all.
No, well, so the third quarter we've been stellar the last 4 weeks.
Mhm.
Phenomenal statistics. Matter of fact,
Yeah, in the last 5 minutes, 3 touchdowns.
yeah, it was like, what? Who are we watching? Are we watching the old Houston Oilers and San Diego Chargers? With Warren Moon and Dan Fouts. Like I could not believe the up and down, up and down.
Yeah, and those
And then
two.
in our 2 blown coverages on
Yeah, I
Flowers.
was just going to talk about that. I mean, at that point in time, I was just like, Baltimore's got us.
Yeah,
They know
right,
everything that we're going to do. They got us. All they
right,
need to do is just sling the ball down the field, and they're getting a touchdown every time.
right, right.
Why they
And the
didn't do that
Steelers,
is beyond me.
here's the thing. So Henry has 120 yards, 110 yards at the half. I think he finished 126. They shut him down in the second half big time, but we carried the ball 6 times in the second half, I think.
There you go. And that's the part that you were talking
Again, his
about.
Harbaugh thing. We talked about this for the last 3-4 weeks.
Yep.
And Lamar, we have a little space running in his head. TJ picks off a pass that was batted down.
Mhm.
But he made some throws that guys were wide open.
Yep.
And then to throw to Likely at the end of the game, I thought, here we go. First off, Boz misses an extra point.
Yeah.
Which, again, 3 weeks in a row now missed kicks. So I don't know if that's in his head or not. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's so funny. Go ahead, keep going. I'm going to tell you a story.
He kicked a 57-yard field goal, so I'm not going to harp on Boz. But very unlike of him to miss that extra point.
Right.
I give Aaron Rodgers. Everyone was giving Rodgers shit about the timeouts he called.
Mhm.
Well, he had some problem with his helmet. So
Right.
that's why we missed. But for him to hit Austin on that touchdown to give us the lead.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah, the perfect play call too. And what transpired on all of that, he explained in the press conference after the game. They asked him, what happened, what transpired with that faulty helmet stuff and the last timeout. And he said, well, I couldn't hear anything. The microphones weren't working, and instead of going out there with a broken helmet and no play call and just make it up on the fly to potentially cost us the game. Who gives
Right.
a shit about timeouts at that point? Is
Right.
what
I
he said.
agree. Right.
Is what he said. He said, "Who gives a shit about timeouts at that point?" So I was like, "All right, that's cool."
Yeah.
And then in the huddle, they're almost looking at each other like, what do you want to do? And he had said something to Austin, and Fryermuth spoke up and said, "Cook them." And that's when Rogers turned to Austin and said, "Run a go." And sure enough, he
Wow.
cooked them for a touchdown.
Yeah, he did. He made him. He slipped and wide open and hit him in stride, and
Yeah.
you
But Boswell missing that extra point is detrimental to the team at that point in time. Especially considering the fact that when we kicked it back off to the Ravens,
they returned to almost a 50.
Right. I'm saying to myself, they only need to get to 20 yards to kick a field goal, and the game's over. Well, then they get this freaking 40-yard run practically, 20-yard, 30-yard run on the kickoff return. And then I'm thinking to myself, they need 10 yards now. They just screwed themselves. They only need 10 yards and to kick a field goal, and this game is over.
Yeah.
Instead of it being a tie and going into overtime potentially, now we're going to lose the game by 1.
Yeah.
So I said to my buddies, I said, and then obviously Isaiah Likely ends up getting that pass, and I said, that's it, game's over, turn it off. Who gives a shit? The game's over. They're going to kick it, the field goal. They win. We're done. We're pieces of shit. Fuck Tomlin. He's an asshole. The whole thing. I mean, I was going through it. I was going through it like a normal fan was, right? And I told my buddies, I said, unless the hand of God comes down and takes that ball away from Baltimore, this game is over. We're done. Turn the lights off. Cover the field. Get out the bulldozers. Turn this place into a parking lot, right? So they line up for the kick and they kick it, and the dude hooks it right.
Shanks it, yeah.
I said to my guys, I said, "Tell me that wasn't God." And they were like, "Can't say that it wasn't, but it was something." And I was like, "You're damn right
it was in the end zone that was blessed too, which is hilarious.
And that's the other thing too. I come to find out that they had blessed the field right before the game in that end zone too, and we're just like, "Come on, you can't make this stuff up."
No, man, it's like a movie. I swear, it's like a movie.
Yeah,
I swear.
You go ahead and try to tell me that the NFL ain't fucking rigged.
Yeah, I know. Listen, think about without Boz missing the extra point, and in 4th and 7, they make this miraculous throw to Likely where Jalen Ramsey looked like he could hit it out of his hands, but he didn't.
Right.
And then,
that was just a good play. I thought to myself the whole time, I'm like, Ramsey, what the hell are you doing, man? And I'm thinking to myself, all right, I looked at the play and I'm like, oh, he was right there. Like,
yeah, he was.
He just missed.
Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah.
Like he was there.
On the other end, so I had a friend who, a Giants fan, but grew up half his life in Baltimore. So he's on a chat with his buddies from Baltimore. He's a Giants fan, not a Ravens fan. Hates them. Actually, roots for the Steelers against them. He's giving a shit. He goes. He texts me. He goes, "Why did they have Lamar just run to the middle? They could have given it to Henry to get 5 or 10 more yards up the middle for an easier field goal." And I'm not responding. My phone's down. Yeah. I'm just like, So I pick up my phone after. I'm like, I text him, Art, you're probably right on. I don't understand why I didn't give him a carry there. Yeah. But, I said it worked out the way I wanted, and that's all that matters. But what a up and down and,
let's talk about that because, again, if I'm Harbaugh, I'm saying to myself, I'm playing RPO all game long. I'm playing RPO all game. I'm either going to have him hand it off to Henry to pound him up the middle. I'm either going to keep it and have my speedy quarterback get around the end or I'm going to have the perfect read in order to suck in the linebackers and dump it in over the middle.
Right.
And I'm gonna not only am I gonna win this game, I'm gonna crush this game.
Right. And he refused to do it. They went
So
up 10-0, and
yeah,
it stopped.
it makes me believe that, or it makes me wonder, because if you think about it, this year they didn't really run RPOs at all.
No. No.
Lamar Jackson basically turned into a pocket style quarterback.
Yeah. Well, I think that had to do with a lot of injuries.
Well, and
Even when he ran on us,
yeah,
even when he ran, he didn't look like he was healthy running. You
and
know?
that's what I'm getting at. What I'm getting at is that, did Lamar come out and tell Harbaugh, I don't want to be a running quarterback. I want to be a pocket passing quarterback. I won't run the ball. Because if you don't recall on that one play where he could have ran for the first down, he tried to just toss it
Yeah, to D Hop. You're
to
right.
DeAndre Hopkins at the end of the game to get a
Yes.
first down, a guaranteed first down.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he just kind of lobbed it, and it went over. It didn't go anywhere near him, or I think,
Right.
matter of fact, I think Lamar actually
Hopkins
ran out of bounds.
Hopkins stopped. No, Hopkins stopped, and
Right.
he said he should
Hopkins
have went
stopped.
further. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And so miscommunication there, but again, Lamar had the angle.
Oh,
He
it was
could
easy
have
first down for him.
easily get a first
Yeah.
down, but he didn't.
Right.
And he didn't
Right.
take that chance. He didn't run. He was trying to pass the ball. And I'm thinking to
Right.
myself, this is a mindset. This is a different mindset from this guy now.
Oh, big time. Big time. Yeah.
So Lamar's not going to be the player that everybody thinks he's going to be moving
No.
forward.
No. Whatever injuries are hampering him, a back, a knee, a leg, but he's not the
But
same
Mike,
quarterback we've
it might
seen.
not even be an injury. It might be a mindset now that's
Yeah.
hindering him.
Right. Right.
And again, I'm not putting shade on nobody, but his mom's his agent.
Right. You're right.
Maybe his agent, who happens to be his mother, said no more running.
Right. We
I
want to
can't.
prolong your career.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So just trying to think of it from a different perspective on why Lamar seems so different. It may not be an injury. It may be a mindset now.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, listen, he made the one play which I thought broke our back was when he got out of Herbig and Benton's hands for that sack and threw the touchdown to, again,
Yeah.
I don't know what our defense is thinking. The closest guy to him was Patrick Queen. Like,
Right.
Which I don't know. I don't know what the call was on defense.
Yeah,
I have no idea.
I don't know either. But I even said too. I said, why is a linebacker guarding
On Zay Flowers. Right.
one of the fastest guys on the field at the moment?
Right.
What,
I didn't
what are we
understand
doing?
that.
The mismatch
Right.
of the century.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know?
And the other one that I think Samuel just let him go by thinking he had safety help and there was no one there. That's why he was wide open. So again, I don't know. But probably one of the best games ever at Acrisure. Like you said, an act of God had him miss that field goal. And then, like we knew the pieces would start falling for either team, whoever lost. And
Yeah.
Baltimore, Harbaugh's out now. We'll see what's going to happen with Lamar.
Yep.
See what's going to happen with Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah. I mean, who knows? New coach, new regime. They might come in there and say, we want to start over.
Right.
We want our own guys in here.
Yeah. The one thing that was glaring to me again in this matchup, they could not put pressure on us whatsoever.
And that was the case all year for Baltimore.
Right.
Their
they had
four
the
was awesome.
lowest sack rate in the league.
Yeah,
they were horrible.
Their front four was terrible. So
right.
That was another reason
and then losing Kyle, the safety back there, Hamilton killed them.
Yeah. I kind of thought to myself at that point too. I'm like, this is our shot. If we have a tie, now's the time because their best player is out on defense.
Yep.
Yep. But knowing that their front four wasn't going to be able to get that much pressure on Aaron, also kind of played in our favor because it's like Aaron's going to pick you apart if he's got time. He's going to
Right.
absolutely eviscerate you.
Yep.
Slice and dice. And, he kind of did. But still a little bit too close for comfort for my liking.
Oh.
The cardiac kids strike again.
Yeah.
I mean, you want to talk about a range of emotion there at the last 5 minutes of that game. It probably hit every single one of them. Disbelief, anger, grief, sadness, sorrow, all of it.
Joy, happiness.
Yeah, you hit every single one of them there at the end.
Yep.
Those last 5 minutes of that game. So,
absolutely. Yeah.
Let's see. Is there any news while we've been talking? I don't think so. I think this is all. No, they're still talking about transfer portal stuff. Falcons are expected to interview certain guys, EVPs, stuff like that. So nothing really that we need to pay attention to.
Right. Only other thing, Carnell Tate's entering the NFL draft for Ohio State.
Okay.
That was just announced within the last 4 hours. So
yeah.
Top 10 pick.
Also, Bryce Underwood is returning to Michigan.
Going back to Michigan. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's not really much else going on here that I think that needs to be talked about. So since that's the case, we can jump over to college and pick these last two college games that we have on Wednesday and Thursday.
Thursday and Friday.
Thursday and Friday. Sorry, I thought it was tomorrow.
Yeah.
I was hoping it was tomorrow. It's not. Let's see here. Let's go to here. Let's go to college football playoff scores. Okay. So Thursday and Friday, we have number 10 Miami going against number 6 Ole Miss in the Verbo Fiesta Bowl on Thursday at 7:30. And as of right now, Miami is giving 3.5. And the over-under is 52.5. I'm going the under.
Miami's giving 3.5?
Yeah.
And what's the over-under, 52.5?
Yeah.
Okay. And you're taking the Canes?
No. I'm taking Ole Miss, but I'm taking the under. I like Ole Miss getting 3.5.
Okay.
I just said before that I was definitely on the under.
Gotcha. I'm with you also. I'm definitely on the under. But I'm taking Miami.
Yep. And then in the Friday game, the other semifinal, it's the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl against number 5 Oregon and number 1 Indiana. Indiana is giving 3.5, and the over-under is 47.5. I am also on the under in this game, and I'm taking. I'm going to lay the points in this one. I'm going to take the favorites.
Taking Indiana and the under. I'm going to take Indiana and the over in this one.
Yep. All right, and also you get one or the other. Give me your super dog.
I would. Oh, geez. I don't know.
How about this? Okay.
Why don't we wait till the NFL playoffs too to give a super dog? That'd give us
No,
8 games to pick from.
no, we're going to do it here, but we're going to do the Super Dog a little bit different. Okay.
Okay.
We're going to pick the scores of both of these games, and whoever's closest gets the points.
Oh, that sounds good. I like it. Okay.
So you have the potential of winning 10 points. We'll give 5 points to the winner.
Okay.
So give me your prediction for, and I'm going to write these down here. So let's put in Matt. Let's put in Mike. And then me. And this will be for Miami, Ole Miss. And then this one will be for Oregon, Indiana. Okay. Little timetable there.
I'm taking in the first one.
Yep. Miami, Ole Miss. What do you got?
Miami 28-24.
28-24. Miami. Okay. I'm going to take I'm going to take 27-21 Ole Miss.
Okay.
Okay.
In the second game, I am taking the Hoosiers 31-24.
31-24.
Yep.
And I will also be taking Indiana, but I will be taking 24-17. All right. Okay. All right. And then we don't have to pick any more games for now because the next games are the NFL playoffs, and those start on Saturday when we'll be getting our Friday show in. So when we come back on Friday, we will be actually in the midst of watching and talking while the last semifinal game is playing, because that game is on Friday at 7:30. So we'll be watching that game as it is live while we're live. So that'll be pretty cool. It'll be fun. But a little bit of a shorter show tonight, only because we only have so much to talk about. Talked about all the news that we could possibly get in, and we've talked about all the scenarios that we could possibly get in for now, coaching changes. So obviously we're gonna have to wait until we get more information, till we get more news, till we see more things before we can talk any further about anything else. And obviously we always wait for Matt to talk about some of those things too, because he's a moron and he has moronic things to say, and we like to fight him on what he says because funny. So with that being said, Mike, do you have anything else to tell these people before we call this one a night?
I'd love to see Miami beat Old Miss. Old Miss is a great story, though. Actually, be kind of funny to see them get to the championship without Lane Kiffin.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, with the SEC bias going on in college football, it'd be great to see an ACC versus a Big Ten team for the national championship, which I think could happen. And another great story we didn't talk about: the kid from Old Miss led Ferris State to Division II championship this year. Could lead Mississippi to a championship in Division I. So
Okay.
Pretty interesting. Yeah.
Speaking of Division One, in a nail biter in
Oh, the
Division One
FCS last night.
FCS
Yeah.
championship, the Montana State Cougars ended up beating the Illinois State Redbirds in, like I said, a nail biter, 35-34, came down to the last play. Um, it was fun to watch. It was fun to watch because Illinois State was down in that game for most of it,
2 touchdowns. Yeah. Yeah.
and they come storming back at the end of the game there, and it turned into a fun game at the end. Very
Yep.
very chaotic and climatic. So it was
Yep.
sweet.
Yep.
So yeah, if you didn't watch that one, shame on you because it was a good one.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Very much so.
yeah. But with that being said, that is going to be it for us tonight. So don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and share us on all your platforms. Comment. We'd love to hear from you. Join us. Be in the discussion. Be in the talk. We want to hear your thoughts as well as your opinions. Most of them, not all of them, but just most of them, and sports related only, please. Other things we just don't give a shit about. So yeah, with that being said, we will be back Friday at 8 p.m. And we should have a full slate here, and we'll go over the NFL, and it'll be a fun weekend of football. So again, like always, embrace it. We're down to the end of it. We're not going to get much left. So enjoy the rest of it. Have fun doing it.
That's it. Yep.
Also, we'll try to get some bets in for this weekend, right?
Yeah.
Try to leave people this weekend with a couple of maybe 3 or 4 leg parlays to get in for this weekend, right? So maybe we'll do that. We'll come together and we'll think of that. You know, your best. Maybe we'll do a 3 leg parlay and our favorite bets for all 6 games, right?
There we go.
So
Yeah.
you pick one, I pick one, and Matt picks one, and we'll put it together in a parlay, and we'll see what we get out of it.
Yeah. There you go. Sounds good.
So all right. So with that being said, again, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, turn on those notification bells so you know when we go live, so you can come and join us. And with that being said, good night, everybody.
See you later.